Well, collecting ethnobotanical data requires ethnographic skills, and these can be taught even to undergraduate students in low-level, no-prerequisite courses. And today I want to outline how I have taught over 480 undergraduate students to conceive of a shared project, collect data, and write hypothesis-driven papers on shared data. And my goal has been to provide students with hands-on ethnographic experience relevant to real-life situations, as well as to provide them with marketable skills that they can list on their resumes. And I hope also to spark interest in conducting research and understanding what elements go into research projects and social scientific papers. I've made a number of decisions over the years that have become critical to the success of this sort of classroom assignment. First, the entire class works together on one project. And why is this a genius move on my part? Well, one, it allows me to apply for one institutional review board that covers all of us involved in the project. It allows us to share background research, or me to gear other classroom readings to support the project, or all of us to have a common conversation in which everyone may take part. And when it comes time for the students to present their findings to the rest of the class, having students who settled on the same or nearly the same hypothesis, and trust me, most of them do, even though I try to encourage them to have a different hypothesis. I trust they find it as instructive as I do to see how other people using the same data and asking practically the same question may yet end up with somewhat different results, depending on their sampling strategy and methodological decisions. And hopefully they find it as fascinating as I do to learn the great variety of sometimes patterned answers to our standardized questions. And in fact, multiple classes, either across class titles or through time, or even across institutions, can continue to work, oh, I'm sorry, up here I sound loud. Or even across institutions can continue to work on a project and change it through time. A second critical decision is to allow yourself to drop some of your course content and instead add time spent on process and how-to. So think about it. 5 years from now, do you really want your students to remember some factoid that you gave in your course content? Or do you want them to feel empowered by having experienced in miniature what is involved in conducting ethnography to learn about an ethnobotanical issue? Don't you want them to read original research with a new appreciation for clear writing in general, for clear hypotheses, for clear methodology, and an appreciation of the tremendous amount of work behind summary data tables? So in order to continue to teach course content and insert a class ethnographic project, you must carefully craft your syllabus to reflect a doable pace for when homework is due, when readings are due, and when interviewing and writing can take place. And your students will thank you to keep in mind that your course is not the only course with homework and readings in their schedules. Finally, treat this as an actual, real project. How much work is this for the instructor? No one else in my department will do this, I bet. So as an instructor, you apply for one IRB approval. And you might ask, if this is just a classroom assignment, why do you need IRB approval? Well, I think you need to model it for your students. But it also allows your students to present the data at conferences or publish on the data. And I have had students publish, I have taken them to conferences, I've sent them to conferences. I presented yesterday on student-generated data. I would not do that without IRB approval. Must you collect written informed consent and keep names secure? Actually, if you have educated your IRB board at your university, and we as an anthropology department certainly generate a lot of IRBs and they're well educated, if your project is exempt or expedited, you probably don't need written informed consent, but likely then you must at least use an informed consent script that the student must read to the participant to get their permission for the interview. And it's a standardized form that they need to read out and hand a copy to the person. What kind of stuff do you have on there? This is the kind of stuff you have on your informed consent script. So what's the study, the project investigator, who are the interviewers? And you want to say that yes, they've all been, in our case, CITI certified, a 5-hour online course for certification for human subject research at a national level. What's the introduction, purpose, procedures? It's all on one page. And then including at the bottom not only the contact information of you, the professor, but the next level above you for complaining. So what's the Office of Research Compliance at the university if you want to contact them because of something they feel you've done. Okay, what's my advice on a project? I think everyday topics make the most fantastic, dynamite projects. What a shock to students to discover that everyday issues make interesting research and that they can use everyday tools like their cell phone to conduct that research. And I've been inspired in this by Kevin through the years. Everyday issues mean the student will want to talk about it with their friends and will want to talk about it with their family. And in turn, their family and friends are going to want to talk back to them about this project because it's all around them. And it's interesting. So what everyday topics have I used over the years? Well, I started out with the South Carolina Home Garden Project. And through the years, you see I collected for 7 years. I had a total of 117. I recently computed this up. I was amazed to find out how many students I've had do this. We collected 88 two-hour interviews, and they did these in teams. One student would map the person's home garden, and the other person would interview the person and be responsible for writing the thank you note, which they had to give to me, and then I would also write a thank you note. Then they would go to a second garden and switch, and we often had I would target a neighborhood and say, walk up and down, these are your streets, and walk up and down till you find a gardener willing to talk about their garden. Well, that's not hard. They love to talk about their garden. But we ran into a drought, and that's when we switched over to asking about vegetables, because gardeners were embarrassed about their drought-stricken gardens. So when these projects start out, the students themselves write the interviews, and then the next year class, if they continue the project for a different class in the same semester, they can revise it. And then we negotiate how many interviews, how long the interview should be. 2-hour interviews is quite a big contract. I've done those for years. The students come up with great things, and one of the great ones they came up with, one of them thought of this question, and so for any of you looking for a project, this is a wonderful one. While you're standing in somebody's yard, look around and say, do any of these plants have special meaning for you? We found that 83% of the people say yes, and then you get wonderful stories, and I have published the types of stories that you're going to get. And we do have significant difference in the stories between men and women. So we had a drought. We moved on to the vegetable project. Now after 683 interviews, I think I'm done. But you can see I've done it in a number of classes, sometimes, and we did have a gap there, but we do have 7 years worth of data. And it changed, it evolved, many different ways of doing it. We started out with actual pictures of plants and little cards, and I laminated it, very expensive. We now just have names on the cards, much easier. Botanical Knowledge Project. This is a fairly recent one, and we're just looking at people's conceptions of plants. And we ran this past semester in the Ethnobotany class, undergraduate class. And we really focused on, I went around and made 8 stations on campus with 3 plants in each. Each set of plants had 1 tree and then 2 other things. It could be a vine, a flower, a bush. We don't really have good American names for those life forms below tree, bush, and vine, and grass. What do you call the other things? Plants, flowers, birds. We don't have good terminology. So we're really looking at getting them to tell us life form and the phylogeneric name. And prior to this, we did talk about scientific naming. We talked about folk taxonomy, eco-literacy. So we had lead in up to the point that we did this in the project. And how to frame that question. So we had to frame the question not to use the word plant, because that could be one of the answers. So they were instructed to go up to the plant, but say, can you tell me the name of this? And then depending on the answer, try to get the next higher name or the next lower name. And then record the order in which these names were given. It's very complicated. Not every student could quite grasp how to do that. We also ran a biocultural diversity project one year, and this was conceived with Karen Hall. some of the museums were doing. She called me up and said, hey, would this be interesting? So we kind of tested it out. She actually made a movie. And then we, being crazy people, we called up all our friends and said, hey, wouldn't you like to do this together? We could have all this different place-based knowledge and we could share it. So we got people from University of South Carolina, Wofford College, Clemson University, Hollins University, Emory University, University of British Columbia. So we all had different classes and different departments, different schedules, but we came up with a standardized interview that we all shared, and then we shared data. We were in different schedules, so some of us couldn't use other people's data because they were behind us in schedule. But the whole group collected 206 interviews, some of them made movies, and so also then this is a point that here you are at a conference, team up with other people. Have your classes work together to write that standardized interview, or use one of our previous ones, you're welcome to them, and then share your data. How fun that is. You can even, have your classes Skype each other and give results if you're on the same schedule. Now, I'm usually not on the same schedule as the other class. The snack project. In this one, I've only run it twice in the food and culture class, and what is a snack. But when I first formulated it, one of my PhD students was teaching food and culture class at UNC Charlotte. So his class and my class, who were on totally different days, like they were on Tuesday, Thursday, I was on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or vice versa. We formulated this, and among the two classes, and then we posted it. And then my class collected interviews, before their class got done. So they got the benefit of our interviews, but we shared it all online so that all the students could then write individual hypothesis-driven papers, but they had used data from all of the interviews. So, like last semester, all the students had to use 105 interviews in their papers. So one project also allows you to accumulate and provide background research. And here's your chance to model quality research. None of that should be in Wikipedia, no low-quality web pages. And then when students discover a great source on their own, you can add it to your list of sources. And you can decide which readings can double for your course content as well as for the project, so you can hit two birds with one stone and require them to be read. Whereas lots of the readings for the project itself are not required, but they're there if they want to be reading them or bringing them in. You need to use a standardized interview so that data may be shared and quantified. So you can't have one project but everybody has different questions. You can't share data that way. One project also, as I said, allows you to gear other classroom readings to fit both course content and the project. Examples from this past semester that we just ended, I was teaching Ethnobotany. It's an undergraduate course, no prerequisite. And the course content covers the 4 subfields of anthropology and how each one does ethnobotany, plus a few other selected topics. So that's my course content. Say, here's how each of the 4 subfields do ethnobotany. But one early topic was eco-literacy, which of course related to the course project, naming plants. Several readings and videos feature trees, and in the project, the life form of trees is the one that is most likely to be named. And I'm not sure I quite got that concept across to each of the students, but certainly I can predict that people are most likely to be able to say that's a tree, whereas they might actually not know it's a vine. And that they're most likely to know the names of trees, the generic names. And then when we had ethnographic articles that they read, we didn't read any books because with the project there wasn't time, but we read ethnographic articles. I would say now pay attention how they write their methodology and how you're going to be writing methodology. Could you actually replicate what they said? And look at their table. Once they've written their tables, they realize, oh my gosh, here's the work that goes into their tables. And what kind of sampling do they do? So it allows your whole class to share a conversation. And I work with small breakout groups, so I break them out. They have them work on what questions, what length of time, how many interviews, project goals, all kinds of things. And then we get back together right away in the same period and make a decision. And then as content topics and readings come up, I can emphasize how they relate to our project. And then during student presentation at the end, we don't have any final exams or anything there. They present they get 5 minutes to do a PowerPoint presentation. They can skip the generalized methodology because we all had the same one and speak only specifically about their specific methodology. So it allows different classes to share the project, so different classes the same semester, one class through the years, different classes through the years, my class, your class at your university, we can all share that project. And so you have to use this year's data, but if you need a bigger database, you may use previous year's data, if it still fits, because the questions can change. So you accumulate data through time. And as I said, consider coordinating with friends, and we're all friends. so here's a whole bunch of other people that you might want to get together with and do a project, and it's so much fun. So different class schedules are not impossible, they're just challenging. So, but you do need to drop some of your course content. You have to make that decision that this is more important to me, that I teach them this process, this hands-on real-life experience. And finally, release some of that so important course content. Once you do, you're just like, wasn't really that important. This is more important. And supply a reasonable schedule of reading, learning, due dates. And remember that you are not the only course. Supply grading rubrics and grade promptly. This is a critical thing, and I do a lot of this by email. So they have to have their hypothesis approved. That means they have to email it to me. Here's their hypothesis. Has to be written to be testable. Has to use the data that we collect in our standardized interview. You have to write this before we have the data. And they have to also tell me what the headings of their table would be that would test this hypothesis. And some of them, it takes 4 or 5 tries to get an approved hypothesis. And so they send it to me, I try to mark it instantly, email it back, saying, no, here's why it won't pass. It's not testable the way you frame it. And your headings don't do it. And only after they're approved, then the next assignment is to turn in and fill in tables. And that sometimes takes 3 or 4 times. And I cannot believe the number of students this semester that did not know what sample sizes were and how many percentages, but they have to do a table with percentages. So you have to figure out your chicken and egg, what order to do these things in. And so last semester I did this. My first week I have a general introduction, and then we have drop back. Then I know who my students are going to be, and that's when I start making the no assignments. We did the course content topic of worldviews, but I assigned the CITI certification, giving them 4.5 weeks to complete the 5-hour online course. We covered eco-literacy and basic botanical nomenclature, both course content, but also both applied to the project. Week 4, folk taxonomy and linguistics, also course content, but again, applied to the project. Guest speaker, and didn't really apply to the project, but introduction to the project. Ethnographic research methods, both course content and applied to the project. And then we had the first project workshop where we broke into small groups and imagined what different questions, what question order, how to ask the questions, how long it should be, how many interviews, that kind of stuff. And I gave them pre-project questions so they can kind of experience for themselves how difficult it might be to answer some of the previous questions that we'd already asked. Like, oh gosh, that was actually not so easy to answer. And then I want to be asking that question. Ooh, here's how people feel when you ask them that. Then the next week we had a project workshop and the interview process, so we actually practiced interviewing among ourselves. And that's when the CITI certification, so they have to finish their certification for human study research before they're allowed to interview. And then course content, biological, anthropology, a project workshop, how to write a research paper. All their 4 interviews are due in Excel, approved hypothesis and table headings, and that's on the paper project. Then we get into the final or 4th subfield in anthropology. And then, rather than have any more reading or homework assignments, we did an in-class case study. So it was all in class so that they could be writing their papers. No more homework for me except the paper, but in class we're doing a case study. We did the Stephen Loring and content topics. And then on the day they turned them in, we made paper what are the kinds of things you need to teach, and what kinds of paper sections do you need. It's a lot of work. It's doable with 40 students. I did it one semester with 67, it was a nightmare. Okay, so here we go.